The Service Animal of the Year Award recognizes the unique bonds between animals and persons with disabilities. This award was also created to bring forth awareness of how important these bonds are for individuals with disabilities to maintain a high quality of life. So to present this year's award, I will ask Claire Summers to come up.
I'm Lee Gaffney. I'm president of the Visiting Pet Program, and we are truly honored and humbled to be here with such an esteemed group of recipients. When I think of the amazing places our four-legged friends have brought us, I am truly awestruck. I'd like to introduce our group because we're a dog group, so we travel as a pack. So, first we have Mozart Schultz here, if he'd come up, with Faye Schultz. Faye is our Reading to Rover coordinator, and I'll tell you about that in just a minute. We also have Malloy Hajra, who is our newsletter coordinator. Monica Stevens, who is one of our Outstanding Volunteers of the Year, and Mike Azzarello, who's also one of our Outstanding Volunteers of the Year. And the lady to my left, who almost got to give my speech, is Claire Summers, our program coordinator, who is truly the engine that keeps this whole organization running. The Visiting Pet Program is a 26-year-old nonprofit, all-volunteer, animal-assisted therapy organization based in New Orleans and serving Orleans, Jefferson, and St. Tammany parishes. Our 120 volunteer members serve 25 hospitals and nursing homes and rehabilitation facilities each month, and some of those facilities are served several times a month. While our pets are not qualified as service animals by ADA standards, they do provide a service like no other. Our motto of bringing love and leaving smiles is the essence of their work. It may be hard to imagine that something as brief as a smile is the highlight of someone's day, but for our dogs, cats, guinea pigs, and rabbits, seeing that smile is their mission on every visit. And I think we saw some smiles in here when you guys met Mozart. Our therapy teams go through an involved orientation and evaluation process before they ever enter a facility and start their 4-month hands-on training program. Each team is assigned a mentor to guide them through their visits and to ensure their competency in working with the elderly and those who have special needs. Even with the guidance and education, an animal cannot be trained to be a therapy pet. The traits of patience, predictability, and reliability must be inherent in the animal. They must love being approached and petted by strangers, and some more strange than others, trust me, and they must possess great confidence. By the time a pet has completed our certification process, we feel confident that the pet and the handler are ready to share love wherever they go. Our two-legged volunteers must possess the same traits of confidence, patience, and friendliness. In addition, commitment to our mission and professionalism are paramount in every volunteer. Our volunteers are so dedicated that they pay to volunteer. Our membership's dues are required each fiscal year. I have been involved in the program for 21 of our 26 years. Several of our members have hit the 15 and 20-year mark. At least 40% have been involved for more than 5 years. They are a very dedicated group of animal lovers who want to share the joy that our pets bring to all of us. In addition to our work at hospitals and nursing homes, we spend our summers providing therapy animals to area camps for special needs children, including Camp Tiger with LSU Medical Center and Camp Lighthouse for visually impaired children. Our our literacy project, Reading to Rover, is now 14 years old and is designed to help beginning readers build their reading aloud skills. At libraries in Orleans and Jefferson parishes, you'll find young students reading to their favorite therapy dogs. The dogs listen intently, admire all the photos, they must see every photo, and never judge or correct the mistakes. When the reading is completed, the youngster is presented with a personalized bookmark, and the dog is given a special treat. The children then eagerly line up to take their turn to read to yet another dog. Over and over again, our rovers inspire the joy of reading and help build confidence in children who previously struggled to find their voice. On behalf of all of us with the Visiting Pet Program, please let me offer our sincere thanks to all those involved with the Gold Award. You guys have been wonderful. And truly, feel free to ask any of us about any of our experiences with our animals. There's nothing we like to talk about more than the wonderful joy that these dogs, cats, guinea pigs, and rabbits bring to all of our lives. Thank you so much.
Our next award is the Veteran of the Year Award. The Veteran of the Year Award recognizes a disabled veteran who has served honorably in the United States Armed Forces and who has a record of exemplary service in the disabled community. The nominator for this award is Beth Dawson.
Mr. William Heroman is someone that I can be proud of because of his long-standing tradition of service to our country, our state, and to the disadvantaged. Mr. Heroman served as a scout in the Army with Company C. During World War II, was captured in the Battle of the Bulge and was a German prisoner of war. He was sent to Stalag 14 and was liberated on April 17th of 1945. He left the Army that year and became a successful florist. I'm sure everyone can be very appreciative to this particular veteran who has showed leadership, support, and constantly goes above and beyond for fellow veterans and the disadvantaged. I'm sure that we have many former students of the School of the Blind and their instructors who have heartfelt gratitude for the many ways he has helped the School of the Blind. He has been honored as a Lions Club member for 66 years and has dedicated most of that time with the various Lions Club projects that deal with eyes and the blind. He has helped provide a Christmas party for all the students at the Louisiana School of the Visually Impaired for each of those 66 years. He remembers when they used to have the parties out at Avondale Boy Scout Camp. They moved to several other locations, but now the Christmas party is at the campus of the Louisiana School of the Visually Impaired. You can be assured that Billy Heroman has not only helped at those Christmas parties, but also their spring picnics, White Cane Safety Drive, and any other event that benefits the students. As you can tell, he has a big interest in helping the visually impaired. Until recently, he would stand in front of Walmart on College Drive and ring the bell for the Salvation Army for 2 days during the Christmas season. He said he had to give this up because of his age. I don't know why, because he's only 90 years young. Now, a few years back, he did a lot of volunteer work out at Carville. For 100 years, Carville was used by the United States Public Health Center to treat patients with Hansen's disease. Then it was called leprosy. Mr. Heroman went to Carville and helped them build a greenhouse. And year after year, he would bring plants out to Carville and teach the residents how to grow them. Now, doesn't that just sound like something that Jesus would do? Kudos go to Mr. Billy for giving those residents something they can enjoy and something to look forward to doing each day. Just to name a few of the other ways he has volunteered his help are Marybeth Perkins Cancer Center, the Rural Life Museum, the Catholic High, Lighthouse for the Blind, the Baton Rouge Zoo, the Women's Hospital, and working at the Hospitality 10 after 5. Yes, indeed, our community, state, country, and the disadvantaged can be all very proud and thankful for the time, service, and donations he has given in order to help others for many, many years. I'm very proud to present this award to Mr. Billy Heroman.
It's always a pleasure to me. And Beth, I didn't know you knew so much about me. But it is, I was taught by as a young man, my father says, what did my father tell you? Yeah. What is it saying? I've been saying a long time. Don't worry about yourself, you worry about other people's worries, and you don't have time to worry about yourself. So that's one of my mottos I live by, and the blind was my favorite subject because that's my Lions Club major project is to help the blind. And I've been doing now for something like she said, 66 years I've been a Lion. I missed one picnic with the blind, 66 years, but I still enjoy watching the kids benefit and grow up, and to make their advantage. They're learning, they're stepping, they're going so much faster now, improving themselves in all different ways. But I have seen beauty, beautification with a face, even a false eyeball the kids light up in them. I help with dogs, sightseeing dogs. We sent the Lions Club, sent them to the school to be trained, and we see their private dogs. So it's been a pleasure all my life. I enjoyed it and still enjoy it, and hope to enjoy it another 10 years or more. Thank you so much.
The Patsy Barrett Memorial Award recognizes a woman with a disability who epitomizes what Miss Barrett stood for through her leadership and achievements as a disability advocate. So to bring up this year's award recipient, Catherine Hoover.
On behalf of the New Orleans Mayor's Advisory Council for Citizens with Disabilities and the Jefferson Parish Office for Citizens with Disabilities, I am delighted and honored to introduce Mrs. Crystal Smith for the Patsy Barrett Memorial Award. She's quite an advocate for people with disabilities, and that advocacy is far-reaching and varied. I've worked with her over the years on projects such as the Greater New Orleans Job Bank, of course, the Mayor's Advisory Council for Disability Affairs, Preparedness, It's Your Turn, a national organization on disability, statewide emergency preparedness project, and on and on and on. I met Crystal very shortly after she received her diagnosis of multiple sclerosis. At the time, she was going to UNO part-time for accounting, working full-time, and caring for her 7-year-old daughter. When I met her, she was trying to decide what she was going to do with her life, and that decision benefits all of us. She changed her major so she could work with individuals with disabilities and became involved in the helping professions. She became ultimately director of programs in the Louisiana chapter of the National Multiple Sclerosis Society. She grew in that position, and I have been privileged to watch her grow over the years, as have many people whose lives she's touched. She was able to get the dollar donation on your income tax at the bottom for MS. That was quite an accomplishment. But the big thing that probably touches most of us in this room is that she helped push the legislation that keeps insurance companies from jacking up the prescription costs during one fiscal year. In spite of the strong insurance lobby today, it's amazing that that did get passed. That reminds me of something Patsy Barrett would do. I see quite a few of my colleagues out here, and a goodly number of them knew Patsy. I was fortunate enough to, and I was also fortunate enough 2 years ago to receive the award myself. So it's very, very meaningful. Although she works for the MS Society, her advocacy is far-reaching. She's been quick to take on projects for the Mayor's Advisory Council and fill in wherever she's needed. She's as compassionate as she is organized and as determined as Patsy to achieve high goals and opportunities for the disability community. My admiration grows for Crystal by the year, and I believe she embodies the spirit of Patsy Barrett. One of the people writing a letter of support for Crystal is a volunteer with the MS Society and a very active member of the Mayor's Advisory Council for Citizens with Disabilities. In addition to Crystal receiving the Patsy Barrett Memorial Award, Jimmy Fahrenholtz, where you are, is going to talk to you a little bit about something else.
Mayor Mitch Landrieu with the City of New Orleans issued the following certificate of recognition. City of New Orleans, Office of the Mayor. Certificate of recognition. I, Mitchell J. Landrieu, Mayor of the City of New Orleans, do recognize Crystal Smith in honor of your designation as a recipient of the Patsy Barrett Memorial Award from among the 2013 Governor's Outstanding Leadership in Disabilities Awards. A witness whereof I hereunto set my hand and cause the great seal of the City of New Orleans to be affixed the 6th day of November in the year 2013. Mitchell J. Landrew, Mayor, City of New Orleans.
So I'd like to give my most sincere thanks to Catherine Hoover and the Mayor's Advisory Council for Citizens with Disabilities for this surprise nomination and support. Big thanks to my husband Steve, daughter Casey, and my sisters Corby and Debbie, and sister-in-laws Cheryl and Stacy and Barbara, and my brother Dennis for your contributions behind the scenes with picture gathering. I am grateful to Becky Pennington and Jimmy Fahrenholtz for your letters of recommendation, and appreciate Alexandra Janot and Susan McCarthy for secretly working at our office with Catherine and my family throughout this process. This nomination and award comes as a complete surprise. There are so many great advocates doing amazing work. I am truly in awe and honored to be thought of in this way by my peers and fellow advocates. I'm grateful and humbled and appreciate all of you in this award more than I could ever express. Thanks again to all of my family, friends, and colleagues for being here and making today that much more special for me. Having all of you here to share in this celebration means more than I could ever express. And I have to say, getting up every day and being able to feel the floor gives me that much energy to want to do something about MS every day. But my job enables me to do so much more. I can do something for MS every day, and I can do something for all disabilities every day because of the wonderful opportunities that I have to work with wonderful coalitions like the Mayor's Advisory Council for Citizens with Disabilities and the Louisiana Lifespan Respite Coalition and the HR 185 Long-Term Care Finance Group that I was put on that the last day of session, yay. Anyway, so I'm just really grateful, and I appreciate everybody for being here, taking the time, coming in all the way from, we're from New Orleans, so it was a little trip for us. Gotta love Baton Rouge traffic. Anyway, I'd love to leave you all with my favorite quote, and it's from Gandhi, and that is, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." And though I'm pretty sure I don't measure up to Gandhi's standards by far, I do my best to live up to these words every day, just as all advocates in the room today. Congratulations to all of today's award recipients, and thank you to everybody who's supported me through all these years through my own journey with MS. Thank you.
Our next award is the Ken Vince Memorial Award. Ken Vince was a rehabilitation counselor who touched the lives of hundreds of people in Louisiana through his advocacy for persons with disabilities. His commitment generated a greater public awareness for the needs of persons with disabilities. He also fostered a greater participation in the Society for the Disability community. This award is given to a man with a disability who follows in the same footsteps as Mr. Vince as an advocate for persons with disabilities. The nominator for this award is Beth Foss.
Good morning. My name is Beth Foss, and I'm a counselor with Louisiana Rehabilitation Services, and I'm also a member of the LaFouche Committee on Disability Issues. I'm real excited about today, and like Brandon, I think this is one of my favorite days of the year. I'm here to present the award, the Ken Vince Award, to Myron Wright. The fresh age of 16 produces thoughts of endless possibilities and wonderment. In 2002, life for Myron Wright was just how anyone would love it to be. 16 years old, Thibodeau resident with supported loved ones, making great grades and playing varsity football. That is until November 8th, 2002, a day Myron will never forget. While playing the game he loves, football, he was hit in just a way that left him unable to move. With his friends on the field and his fans in the stand, he was rushed to the hospital for immediate medical attention. After surgery and much spent time in inpatient rehab, Myron was left with a significant physical disability, quadriplegic. From the beginning of his new life, he knew and made it clear to others that he was going to continue his dreams and his goals and not limit his physical limitations stand in his way. Myron started with LRS in 2003. I became and still am his LRS counselor. He went on to graduate from Thibodeau High School in 2005, from Nicholls State University with a BS in Business Management in 2010, attended training starting his own business in 2011 through the UNO Excel program. And the people at UNO Excel said he was one of the best business plans they had ever seen. He now works at the Spine Center at Thibodeau Regional Medical Center as a data entry clerk. Myron's energy and desire to keep living his life on his terms has not been limited to his education and career goals. His eyes have been opened for more spinal cord injury treatment options and continued work to get his body strong enough to gain independence. He founded the Myron Wright Foundation in 2007 to raise money for his participation in a rehabilitation program called Project Walk in California. His foundation is responsible for uniting the community and raising money through many events with his creativity and resourcefulness. Since 2010, he's been able to participate in 3 rounds of rehab at Project Walk, and he feels that it has been extremely beneficial in his life. He's also used his journey to reach out to teens and others who've experienced spinal cord injuries by doing motivational speaking. He gets his story exposed to raising awareness of his possibilities that are available to others who may be faced with similar challenges, to keep their morale high and never give up. Presently, Myron continues to work through higher goals. He enjoys his job at the Spine Center and feels welcome into their work family. He's preparing to work towards his Master's in Business Administration with hopes in enrolling in January 2014.
Our final award this morning is the Distinguished Merit Award. This award is given in public recognition of an extraordinary service by the individual, organization, or firm working in the disability field that has consistently presented opportunities in Louisiana for persons with disabilities to utilize their capabilities in achieving full participation in society. At this time, we'd like to bring the nominators, Patricia Fraser and Barbara Ficaro.
Now, Patricia was not able to be with us today, but she certainly contributed in helping to submit the nomination, and we're very proud of the lady that we've nominated. Occasions such as we celebrate today are real opportunities to recognize outstanding individuals, but they also allow us to expand our own networks of friends and resources. Before you leave the ceremony today, I genuinely hope that you will take an opportunity to introduce yourself to this year's recipient of the Distinguished Merit Award. She is Marybeth Stringer, and you're going to enjoy making the acquaintance of this very gracious lady. To most of us, she's known as Beth, and she has served individuals with disabilities for many years. Her personal and vocational experiences have meshed to produce skills and attitudes which are the fabric of distinction. Beth knows firsthand both the privileges and the responsibilities of being an only child, the joys and yes, the sadness of being a young wife become young widow, the strength required to be simultaneously a single mom and a college student preparing for life's challenges, the blending of being an active career woman while also maintaining an active family life after remarriage, and the delicate balance between counselor and friend. As a vocational rehabilitation counselor, primarily serving individuals with mental health and substance abuse diagnoses, Beth must often guide her consumers to the realization that they will have to meet life on its own demands. She knows exactly what that means. One of her clients recently expressed his appreciation to her this way: "You showed me my choices and my consequences without telling me that I had to do it a certain way." Beth strongly believes in giving people time and opportunity to allow life to be their real teacher. In so many ways, this has been her own school, and we could certainly say today that she graduates with honors. Beth, please come forward so that we may celebrate with you this moment of your life, which God has crowned with his blessing.
Well, I guess I've been around a while. I've known Ken Vince. I've known Patsy Barrett. And I've known this man since he was young. But I want to give thanks to God for the opportunities that I have had to provide options to persons with disabilities. A very special thanks goes to my supervisor, Barbara Ficarra, for nominating me. Each day as I rise, I have a prayer for God to help me to know and to do thy will, which some of you will know is the 11th step, and to give me the power and strength to carry it out. I also have my own furry friends that enjoy my prayer time together as I get up in the morning. But I also want to give thanks to the support from my family, Tommy Stringer, from my son, David Eaton, who came from Nashville, and to my regional manager, Warren Chauvin, and previous supervisor, Debbie, as well as state office persons who have supported me when I gave options that were sometimes beyond options, and then fought for those options to be able to help persons to achieve a more natural life. Thank you so much, and I do deeply appreciate this award.
I'd like to thank everyone for attending this year's ceremony. This is my 5th year associated with the Gold Awards program. It's been around for over 30 years, and I'd like to thank each and every one of you for participating and continue to make this event strong.